we can make Australia great again, that we can bring Australia back to its former glory.
17% of Australians say they have Asian background.
I promise to be a Prime Minister for all Australians, those who voted Labor, those who didn't, and hope to earn the trust.
Despite the promises from Albanese and despite people wanting to feel the old spirit of Australia again, nothing seems to be changing. So what's really happening? What are we missing? What did we truly lose? And will we ever get it back? This is why Aussies want the old Australia back. Let's go straight to what many are calling a turning point, an election that didn't just change the government, it revealed how much the country itself has changed. This election proves something that many feared deep down, that the old style of politics, the one that once represented mateship, shared values, and a sense of us, is gone. Mass immigration, identity politics, and a swelling welfare state have reshaped the national character. And maybe the old Australia isn't just fading, maybe it's already gone. The most important part of this change? There's no longer a we, no more us. Labor understands this new landscape. The coalition, they are still struggling to find their footing in it. And that's what cost them, not just votes, but their sense of direction. When Albanese's government swept in, it wasn't just a political victory, it was a cultural one. Twice as many seats as the coalition in the lower house. Only a little help from the Greens to pass laws. And Albanese stood there promising to be a Prime Minister for all Australians. Those who voted for him and those who didn't, saying his government would stay ambitious but not get carried away. But the truth is, ambition alone can't fix a country that no longer shares a common heartbeat. Sure, history reminds us that John Howard once won just as big and still lost the very next election. So yes, there's always hope. But this time feels different. Because back then, even after a loss, Labor still had a strong core. Today, the coalition has fewer than 50 seats and no real direction. They've lost not just numbers, but identity. And what's next for the Liberals? No one seems to know. Peter Dutton, decent man, yes. But public perception can be brutal. His image was painted as harsh, unrelatable, and compared unfairly to Trump. Labor's campaign seized on that human warmth versus stern rigidity. In politics, that contrast can be fatal. The truth is, their campaign was a disaster. The ads lacked punch. The messaging was incoherent. They even attacked people working from home, a tone-deaf move that alienated the very middle-class professionals they once represented. And offering higher taxes than Labor was in itself a political suicide. But beyond the tactical blunders, there's a deeper story. A story about a nation that has quietly transformed into something its older generation can barely recognize. Because the Australia of today is not the Australia of yesterday. When the coalition talked about bringing Australia back to its former glory, that message didn't even make sense. Why? Because nearly 30% of today's voters weren't even born here. To them, former glory isn't nostalgia. It's a phrase that doesn't connect. We're no longer a country of shared identity, but a patchwork of tribes, communities, and competing values. 17% of Australians now have an Asian background. Surveys show that nearly 60% of Australians born in Asia and 66% born in the Middle East or Africa don't feel a strong connection to this country. Almost 1 million Australians don't speak English well, or at all. So, when politicians talk about us and we, many don't feel included in that we. And that's where things start to fall apart. During the campaign, one incident captured this new fracture. A Liberal Senator, Jane Hume, commented on a Chinese association reportedly linked to the Chinese Communist Party supporting a Labor campaign. It was meant to be about national security, not race, but Labor flipped the narrative, framing it as an attack on Chinese Australians as a whole. On Chinese social media, that story caught fire. The result was 2 Liberal MPs in electorates with large Chinese communities lost their seats. And it meant something horrible and confirmed what everyone feared, that even discussing foreign interference could now be seen as discrimination. The same dynamic appeared elsewhere, in Muslim-majority electorates, where new Muslim candidates ran on explicitly faith-based platforms. They didn't need to win. They just needed to pressure Labor into softening its tone on issues like Palestine and Islamic hate speech. And it worked. This is the new Australia, where politics isn't about shared ideals, but about catering to fractured identities. Where the national interest comes second to group interests. Where flags multiply, 3 now fly where 1 once stood. It's not that change is bad. But it's the kind of change that matters. Once Australia felt like a home, a shared space where everyone looked after the same house. Now it's starting to feel more like a hotel, where everyone checks in, takes what they need, and expects someone else to clean up. That's what happens when the sense of belonging fades, when people stop feeling like they're part of something larger than themselves. And that's what the old Australia had, belonging. It wasn't perfect, but it was united. You could disagree, but still shake hands. Compete, but still call each other mate. So, what did we really lose? Maybe it wasn't just old buildings or traditions or political parties. Maybe it was something far deeper, the invisible glue that held us together. The laughter between neighbours, the quiet respect for shared values, the belief that despite our differences, we were all part of one story. That story, the old Australian story, isn't dead. Not yet. But it's fading. And whether we get it back depends on whether we can stop seeing ourselves as tribes and start seeing ourselves as people again. Because when there's no we, there's no Australia, just a map, a flag, and a memory of what once was. So what do you think? Is the old Australia gone for good, or can we bring it back? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you still believe in that old Aussie spirit, give this a like and share it with a mate.